So if you're a longtime follower or listener of the Trading Coach podcast, you'll remember me speaking about a program I was a part of called the Deliberate Success Program, where we work with individuals on, well, helping them become deliberately successful, right? No such thing as lucky, putting themselves in position to become successful. And one of the main themes of that Deliberate Success Program was conversion by immersion, meaning that if you want to make a change in your life, you have to immerse yourself in change. You have to jump into the pool of conversion, right? And start doing all of the right things. And of course, it's going to take some time, but if you immerse yourself in doing the right things, it's going to change your habits. It's going to get you started on that successful path. Well, in today's Trading Coach podcast episode, I want to share with you an interview of a trader that's on the platform that really has immersed himself in education. This is someone that I work with every single day. I get lots of questions. We have lots of conversations, and I can tell that this dude's going to be a winner. It's just going to take the right amount of time to go through the process. But I want you guys to hear this interview with him because I think it's going to be inspiring to you. He talks about what he's doing, how he set up his routine for becoming educated and successful, and also talks about a psychological struggle that is very common, being he's eager to trade now and he wants to kind of put the restrictors on. So check it out. Enjoy.
Hey, you hear me?
I can. How you doing?
Good. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How you been?
Good. I'm really good. I hope you're doing good as well. I'm just a little follow-up from last session. I finally picked a strategy.
Amazing.
And yeah. So I'm working on that right now. I actually began my back testing, and right away I ended it because I saw myself kind of analyzing too much, and I feel like I should have already known what I'm looking for, and it kind of should, like Akil says, it should be kind of like a robotic process. And I didn't feel that as if I was, going into the charts in that way. So I kind of ended it, and now I'm just gonna keep, furthering my education, and when the time is right, I guess I'll know.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you stopped testing, and now you're just kind of learning more strategies and refining your approach to your trading development, right? Your system development.
Yeah. I'm actually still trading the same strategy. I'm not looking to deviate from the counter trend type of strategy, but I'm looking at certain things right now. I had a discussion yesterday on the live room with Akil about frequency, and he made some really good points. But I plan to stay with that strategy and just go, take it to the end until I have everything tested, and then I probably will look on to add either like a Cipher or an advanced pattern to the mix.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So what's your routine at the moment then? What are you doing every day? Like what's your trading activity?
It's interesting that you asked, because I made I wrote some things down which I wanted to include in today's session, and that was one of them. So just like you guys preach on having a routine and following that routine every day, I'm not trading live yet, but I feel like I should have also a routine for studying, just keep myself accountable and do like at least the minimum that I require for myself, just to, keep myself in check. So I wake up, I kind of follow your guys' routine right now. So I'm on the live sessions every day. I actually plan to join the live sessions for the entire year, and
Cool.
just try to just try to get as much out as I can, and then after the live sessions, I take a little break, and then I come back and I start making. What I do now is I just go back on the charts, and then I mark up areas in which I would be interested in looking for trades, and I just note those things down, and I'm going through different pairs to just get a feel for how I really want to go about trading them, and then probably, like I said, when the time is right, I'll begin, the back testing. But right now, I'm setting myself in a study routine, if I should say, just like instead of live trading, just study.
Awesome. Excellent. That sounds like a really good plan. So you don't have any, I mean, you've committed for a year for the live rooms. You've got your habit in place, your routine in place. You've got, a good plan on development in your trading. When do you plan on going live at some point with the strategy that you're trading? And do you have a date in mind or a time of the year in mind?
I don't have a specific date in mind, but I would really like to go live before the end of the year. So I want to test out the strategy, and once I have the numbers, then looking to trade demo for maybe like 3 to 4 months, or a small account. I'm actually gonna do a small account, and then hopefully by the end of this year I can get the ball rolling and start trading live. And I also didn't mention, but besides the live rooms, I wrote them down. But I write, like, I have several things that I do to just kind of like further my education. Besides the live rooms, I always go back and watch the archives, the Q&As. Sometimes I watch. I can't be up for the lending session because I hear I wouldn't be able to do it. But
No.
I also go and watch your live rooms as well. And then, like I said, I use a replay button. I scroll back in the chart, and I'm taking it on myself to read the book market wizards as well. So just finding different ways to get better at the same thing, pretty much.
Awesome. Excellent. That's a great routine to have. And thanks for sharing that as well, because other traders will be listening to this. And I can't promote enough having a routine around development in all areas of life. I'm a true believer that everything should be balanced out, and everything, if you work on balance and maintaining habits, you're gonna do all right. Consistency really is the key to a successful life, whatever it is you're doing. So appreciate that. Is there anything that you're struggling with?
I think it's more on a psychological aspect than anything. So another thing that I wanted to point out, if I may just do a quick like reintroduction, because last time I hopped on this like last minute, and I was a little bit nervous. So I didn't get to say some things that I wanted to say.
Lay your cards on the table, man. Go for it.
Yes, thank you. So pretty much I mentioned that I began trading in 2019, January 2019. And I was 19 years old, and I wasn't as dedicated to the craft as I am now. And like I also mentioned before, I had a very poor education, but just like Akil speaks of that unconscious incompetence, you don't know that this is poor education because you don't really know any otherwise. So I spent the first 2.5 years just kind of like really putting in the effort and the work, but the material really wasn't there. And the story on how I came across Tier 1 was, so the course that I was studying, the guy that I was studying from, I Googled him, and then I Googled the course and the reviews. And all the reviews that I was looking at weren't pleasing, and I was getting a little bit like thrown off. And someone who had wrote the review mentioned you guys, and then they said that they also took the same course that I took, and then they came across Tier 1. And once they came across you guys, he spent about a year with you guys, and he became profitable. So I went on YouTube, I looked up Tier 1, and I saw Akil's video. And ever since, it's been
listening to him every day since.
Yeah, I have Akil's voice ingrained in my head, between the podcast and the live rooms and the Q&As, and it's just like I feel like I have Akil with me every time I'm looking in the charts. So in November was when I came across you guys, and yeah, my trading skill has developed to another level, and
that's amazing to hear, man.
Yeah,
incredible.
Yeah, I feel like I've become very, very mature, and you guys do a really good job of giving us realistic expectations, and that's amazing. And once you kind of start putting in the work, you see the importance of consistency, right? And you guys say that all the time. and you kind of had to put in the work to really see that for yourself. You can't just take the advice from somebody and just assume that.
Totally. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
So
totally.
so all those things come into play, and yeah, here I am, going strong.
Incredible, man. I'm really excited to follow your journey because I mean, what, you're 22 now?
Turned 23 in March.
Turned 23. Yeah, man. And man, I wish I was in your position at 23. But I look forward to following your journey. It's very rare, like you say. You've got to do the work. You've got to. It's one thing to bang on about consistency, and one thing to tell people to take it slow and change your mindset. Most people don't want to hear that, and most people don't want to grasp that concept entirely. So to have someone as young and as yourself and disciplined as yourself to actually grasp that and understand that, and then set out kind of a trajectory of where they want to go, that's really, really inspiring to me, and I can't wait to follow you on that journey, man. It's going to be cool. It's going to be amazing.
Thank you. I have a question for you, if I may.
Sure.
So going back to when you asked me if there's any struggles right now, like I said, I'm kind of struggling on a psychological aspect of. So I just mentioned I've been trading since 2019, or I started looking at the charts, right? And I'm just so eager to start trading already, and I'm like telling myself, like, okay, just process over outcome. And I'm sure you can understand all this time I've spent just trying to learn, and finally I come across if I should say, the gold mine. That's what I tell people, and everything is laid out in front of me, and I just have to follow the steps. I have to do the work, but I'm so eager to trade live. Is there in the process of now what I'm doing, strategy development, do you think I should give myself like a deadline, or I should kind of like plan for when I should have something like ready and concrete?
I always think that deadlines are a good idea. Not so much for, I don't think like planning to be a consistently profitable trader by so and so date is a very good goal to set, because that puts a pressure on you for time to do something that just takes as long as it takes. But in terms of having individual goals, so like I want to have this strategy ready, tested, ready to go, and ready to go live by this date. And then basically work back all the things that you need to do in order to set that up. So have a live account open, have the account funded, blah, 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 and have a date on that. That's a good thing to do, because even if you don't hit it, you are working towards it in a structured and kind of, it's not left day to day where it's like, oh, well, you're kind of moving forward all the time. So I would definitely have goals. And I don't think, based on what you're telling me, you started trading in 2019. You stopped trading. You're going through your development journey. I don't think it would be such a bad idea for you to have a live date in mind. The only thing I would say is, don't just set the goal, reverse engineer the goal so that you know exactly what else you've got to do leading up to that. A lot of people say, I'm going to launch. I see this in business all the time. They're going to launch a product in August, and then on August they just launched the product, and there's no campaigning, there's no planning, there's no like buzz or hype created around the product, and they expect to sell, and it just flops. When you're planning on going live and you're trading, you want to make sure that if I'm going live here, I need to open an account by here, I need to fund the account by here, I need to have everything tested by here, and do you know what I mean? So
yeah,
you've got the other components of that goal planned out, and it will help you move forward quickly. I would definitely recommend setting a goal if I were you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, and it's you have it like visually, you have something visual that you can kind of follow and go back to and keep yourself accountable for. So
and also the danger you find with strategy development is that can never end, right? So people do get stuck in this loop where it's like, oh, what if I change this? I just want to do one more round of testing. And then they kind of get this imposter syndrome where they feel like they're not, oh God, they know they're ready to go live, but they don't want to go live because then it's like, oh, now I've got expectations on me to perform as a trader. So they start going, oh, what if I tweak this and tweak that and test this and test that? And they just go round and round. So by setting yourself accountable for a date to go live, that will stop you doing that.
Right, right. And one more thing I want to add. So with the counter trend strategy, the discussion I was having with Akil, it was on frequency, and he was kind of telling me not to worry so much about frequency because I can just add on. And then my mindset was, okay, I want my first strategy to be, if I only wanted to trade that strategy, then I can just trade that and I don't have to trade anything else. But then it was, each pair was giving me about 5 trades per year. And so let's say I'm planning to have maybe like a 15 pair portfolio because I'm only trading one strategy. I don't feel like I will be too overwhelmed. Once I have that 15 pair portfolio tested, and let's say I want to add the Cipher, and I want to start testing the Cipher, what I would need to kind of like cut down on the pairs that I'm like, as I add more strategies, I would kind of need to cut down because maybe some pairs that I'm testing the counter trend strategy for might not work so well with the Cipher, and then in other pairs, might complement both styles, right? So I'm sure the testing results will give you all of that at the end.
Yeah, it will. But interestingly, the Cipher pattern can be a counter trend. It can be a reversal, right? Because the way that the Cipher is formed is a violation of the last outside return. So if you imagine a Cipher pattern, I don't know if you've learnt them yet, but if you imagine a Cipher pattern, the C leg is the new high, and then the D completion point is a violation of the previous outside return. So if you're trading counter trend and reversals and things like that, you might find that actually you can't get involved with too many Cipher patterns because you was already in your counter trend. Does it make sense? Or you might find that you can't take too many of your counter trend strategies because you're in a Cipher now. And not only that, you're in an opposing direction of the strategy that you was playing. So if you're a counter trend trader and we're in a bullish market, chances are you're looking to get short. But at the same time, if a Cipher completes, you'll be getting long. So it'll be interesting to see the test of both of those and how they complement each other, and whether or not actually overlapping both of those stops you from being able to take some trades. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It'll be interesting to see those two combinations.
Testing
will reveal all, right?
Yeah, right. If there's some type of conflict, I can just switch to another pattern, like you said, the bat pattern. Honestly, whichever. I just have like an eye for the Cipher. I haven't gone into the strategies of the patterns because I kind of want to leave that for after I do the strategy, the counter trend strategy. But just seeing Akil mark up the Cipher pattern on the live rooms, I've developed an eye for them, and I can see. Yeah. And just a little side note, last time I was on here, you said that you mentioned just coming on these accountability sessions builds so much momentum, and I can really relate to what you said, because this last time I came on here and we spoke after that, I felt like I was on fire for that entire week.
Cool.
Yeah, and it was really good. It was really good. I think these sessions are very helpful, and I plan to sign up for one every 3 months just to kind of check in and
there you go. You've said it now.
Yeah. I said it, so it's on paper.
That's how this works, man. That's how this works.
yeah. But I love it. I love it. It's so fun.
I appreciate you sharing that, and it's been a pleasure talking to you again. I look forward to catching up with you in 3 months.
Thank you, Jason. I appreciate your help and feedback.
Have a good weekend, George, man. It's been a pleasure.
You too. Take care.
Take care. All right. Very, very cool. Great session, guys. Appreciate Jamie dialing in late from Australia on a Friday night, and George, not so late. It's early over there at the moment, but good to hear from George again, and I appreciate sharing your intro and the value you're getting from these sessions as well. Other traders will hopefully take note and jump on one of these things.
Hope you enjoyed the podcast. Hope this was inspirational. I know if I was a younger trader, it would be. I'm inspired each and every day by this guy. It makes me want to be a better coach and really do all I can to put him in the position to be successful. And if you're someone that feels the same way, meaning you want to be successful, you're ready to immerse yourself and do everything possible to reach that goal, the first step is heading over to our website, www.tier1trading.com. Do one of three things. You can either check out the free workshops, you can either sign up for the trial membership, get on the platform and start talking to other traders, or you can go right into the trading platform and get started. www.tier1trading.com. Do one or all of those three things, and I'll see you on the next episode of the Trading Coach Podcast.